right here. This is truly breathtaking.
It's astounding that you seem to actually be enjoying this experience, Nick.
You know what? I am. Gosh, a long time in the making. This is what dreams are made of, people. Pursue your dreams. Never give up. Mine might seem strange, but anybody that's dealing with any battle, focus on that other side. You'll achieve your goal, achieve your dream, and beat any battle with anything. Shot high above Niagara Falls. Incredible to believe.
Nick, very quickly, as you entered the wet zone, family so important to you, so much a part of this night, and I know that you have something of your mother's, your homemade shoes that actually are going to help you maybe grip that wire a little tighter with that homemade elk skin on the bottom of those moccasins.
That's correct. These shoes are made by my mother, and it means so much to me to have a piece of my family alongside with me. You know, family is important to me. My beautiful wife, my 3 beautiful children. To have a family that supports me, even when I have crazy ideas like this.
And Nick, you mentioned the concern about the movement of the wire. How is that right now?
Feels pretty good right now. You know, one of the challenges I'm having right now is visually, because everything is moving so quickly underneath me, I can't see the wire move, which actually becomes a challenge because I can't prepare for it as it moves. But so far, so good.
Nick, we're going to leave you to it, and we thank you for letting us join you for a tiny portion of your travels.
Thank you, guys.
Well, how do you love that poise and composure as he does what no one ever has, as he attempts this feat that no one ever would.
You see that shit going down, right? He good.
And yet, trouble looms as he arrives to the wet zone. This was where that microclimate of Niagara can wreak such potential havoc on this walk. You can see the blinding mist kicked up from that water, 700,000 gallons per second cascading 20 stories down. The effects on his visibility, his grip on that wire, unknowable until he is out there alone. A man, a wire, and a balancing pole.
He is about a third of the way, almost a third of the way to his goal of arriving in Canada, becoming the first man to ever walk over Niagara Falls. And again, the wettest area here has actually changed 3 times by the time he's finished with this walk. You can just see the water is dripping off of that wire.
Praise the Father God.
You see the water?
Looking good, Nick.
You see the water, right?
Can you hear me okay with the roar of the falls right there?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
All right, good. I want to make sure you can be able to hear me every step. But it's looking good, Nick. I mean, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
The only thing I'm not happy about is that pendulum that we hung the weather station on.
Yeah.
You know, it's moving a lot. It's catching wind.
Yeah, it's catching a little more wind, but you're going to get past that reasonably soon. So, you're doing great. Nice, calm steps. Everything's looking good.
To Nick talking with his father, Terry, discussing the weather conditions and how Nick is making his way through them. Let's go down to our weatherman, Sam Champion. Sam, what is Nick facing at this moment?
Hey, Josh, right as they had that conversation, we picked up a 14-mile-per-hour wind gust just ahead of Nick on the wire. And the real problem here might not be the speed of the gust, because if you're looking at it, you can see that mist is driving and hits him constantly on the left side of his body. That would be fine. He could get used to that, but it's swirling. It goes from southeast to south to southwest, and then it kind of goes around even over his head. So it's not only going in the compass direction, but it's kind of wrapping around him all the way over and under him as well, and that's the concern. That's what he was talking about, picking up a little bit of gust there. Also, it is just so wet. Josh, we've been looking at this now for 2 days. Have you ever seen it this wet?
Sam, I have not, and you're right. We've been locked onto this for 2 days. About 13 minutes now into his walk, as we take a look at just how far he's gone and yet how far he still has to go. And you can see just how alone he is in the middle of that madness. And yet, something he's trained his entire life. One of the longest walks in his career, to be sure. Let's review. He did this by walking on a wire, in fact, twice as long as this, almost 3,000 feet in length, to make sure he'd have the endurance to do this. And as we showed you before, he did it with that fire hose pounding away and a wind machine blowing 55-mile-an-hour gusts.
But there's no way, Josh, that any amount of preparation can simulate what he finds here. And the one thing that he did learn from all of that practice that you just detailed was that he was uncomfortable with the fact that, and as you look at that mist and you can visibly see the wind because the mist and because of the lights that we have along his path, he said that he thought might be disconcerting to him mentally. And that might be distracting. He's used to feeling the wind and dealing with the wind, but not actually seeing it as he is tonight.
And to that point, this is certainly a feat of endurance, of strength, but as we bring in Bill back in the United States, Bill, this is a man of singular mental fortitude.
Boy, is he ever. You've got a sense of that talking to him, right? He reaches the bottom of the valley now. He's going to start the arduous climb up. Something to watch for, it is Walenda tradition for him to stop in the middle, pull out his cell phone, and call his wife, Edindira, who is now on the Canadian side with their kids waiting, hopefully, for his arrival. But his kid said, you know what, Daddy, you don't have to call this time. Why don't you just get over